Okay,
from
finish.
Farmers was 2. 3 was printing. The printing
Oh,
industry.
printing. Oh, this is good. Oh,
Top
we are
one.
missing Takahashi.
Yeah. So basically, how can you generate money from the old model for printing industry was just okay. You sell subscriptions.
Yeah, printing industry is very close to IT industry. Okay, the printing is printing. Just the recent printing is just like using photo,
Uh-huh.
and also they are using like kind of sort of high technology. They recognize face recognition kind of technology they are using. So my high-end technology they're going to require. Actually, but many publishing companies they don't adopt kind of high-end technology. And the very old-fashioned technology they are seeking to hold printing. This is the kind of they consider about IT revolution, IT technology implementing for under the current mid-range planning. But actually, nobody experience for those advanced areas. This is the kind of problem.
I think the bigger problem is that actually like news and information has become freely available and accessible to everyone. It's expected to be free, and so it's very difficult for companies to get a model where they can raise enough money. So the only solution that we found so far is advertisement. So everything needs to be surrounded by advertising, otherwise it doesn't work anymore. But it's very difficult for people, for example, in the music industry, in the newspaper industry, to build up a brand that's strong enough that will enable you to actually get enough money to sell your publications. It used to be quite easy. People just subscribe to a newspaper. They don't do that anymore. Because why would you subscribe to a newspaper if you can get all the news for free online? It's even more convenient. Nowadays, in the train, you don't see anybody with a newspaper anymore. Well, hardly anybody. Everybody is looking at this smartphone, and then in your smartphone, you can just basically Google anything. It doesn't cost anything. So that all that information is.
But
free.
I tell you, why economists survive? Because the reason is very simple. Content. They have content.
Right.
Okay, normal newspaper, just on news. This is free.
Yeah, Wall Street
But,
Journal.
yes,
These super strong brands, they may be able to sustain, but it's very tough. And actually, what you see in the best brands like Washington Post, etc., the high quality.
I'm not sure.
These newspapers are being bought by the super rich. The super rich, they buy like Buffett. They buy these newspapers in order to make them survive because they bring quality content to the world, and these super rich people feel that's their obligation to sustain
So
these
they
news
go to
sources.
Washington Post. This is I think
Oh, really?
one year maybe $10, but economists is monthly base they ask us $100.
It's 100?
100 US
No.
dollars.
No.
No,
Just
every month I pay 100
I'm sorry, every month 100?
No,
Then you should call your subscription officer because I pay a lot less.
how much?
I think it was for 100, not even that's for a year.
No, month.
No.
100 US dollars per month?
Yeah,
No.
per month, I show you.
Really?
Okay, subscribe to the
Yeah, I show you.
But
Economist.
Economist is once a week, right?
No, once a month or once every 2 weeks. What was it?
Every 2 weeks. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, every 100 it's
yeah, that's
in a year, right? No. Every month?
12 issues for 6,500 yen.
4, 500.
Uno-san, here you go. You get the magazine or you get the online version? Online version is 12 weeks, 6,500 yen. Yes.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm paying 10,000
It says.
笑えるんですか？
because I'm 5 years.
ギャグみたいなの言ってます。
I'm paying for 5 years. That's the reason why every year maybe incrementing charge.
Then why don't you cancel and subscribe again?
Yeah, I'm looking for the New York Times better or Financial Times better.
So I
Okay,
think
so-
Yeah, you should get both. It's really different.
so. If I
Like New York Times and they're both very good, but they're different. Cannot
I
compare
know
them.
different. I know
so
different.
so Washington Post and the New York Times. So which is better? So the different kind of.
Content is.
I think-
So if I subscribe.
No.
if I
Washington
choose-
Post and New York Times purpose is different.
Yes.
Washington
purpose.
Post is just focus on politics.
Yeah, mostly.
So because of
They're
DC.
talking about half of the White House.
yeah.
Washington Post.
Washington
And,
Post is kind of left wing, high quality,
right.
very and very serious,
really.
very high standards when it comes to integrity of the journalist.
Right.
Really?
The same can be said about Wall Street for New York Times.
Uh-huh.
Most advanced is economist.
But New York Times is much more global news.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I subscribe some newspaper from the US.
Mm.
And
Because
but
Japanese newspaper is.
New York Times is good.
but but difference is
Anybody else?
Economist is British.
I'm sorry?
British economist is British. Not
Economist.
American.
British,
British
when I
English.
was a student, KO
British English.
student of KO, so I subscribed Economist, but I stopped.
So it's much cheaper, de show. I also subscribe the
But
paper
at the
version.
time, I subscribed as a student price,
Oh,
Which one?
I got.
probably.
academic discount.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Something
time to read it. Like I all of like I saw only the magazines is pile is growing, but I'm not reading it. So
yes, exactly. So I quit.
Every morning I'm reading this one.
no, that's good. That's good.
Reading economy. Every morning.
I
Yeah, I read
subscribed
it.
the New
Yeah.
York Times.
But New York Times is interesting. I actually every morning I listen to the podcast.
Podcast, it's free.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah, New York Times. It's called The Daily.
Oh, I'm listening. Time.
Oh,
Time
Times?
English. Yeah, Time
Ah,
English.
Time,
is
yeah,
very
yeah.
easy to listen.
I listen to BBC Global podcast. That's very good.
BBC is hard to listen.
Yeah, also I need to study the French, so now I'm looking for easy French news website. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't read.
It's really good.
So how many eat?
I can know. So far,
From 4 or 5?
tastes good.
So printing industry is very, very, very difficult.
Okay.
What?
The printing industry is very, very difficult. The technology, even to produce it, it's becomes cheaper and cheaper. Becomes easier.
I think only printing on clothes, right? Printing for clothes
But even that
can be
is
survived.
that's finished.
Finish?
That's also finite. There's also there's a you can only print so many things.
Ah,
but
yeah,
only,
yeah,
only
yeah,
so,
yeah.
so many clothes. Like that.
Okay.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Cashiers is kind of atarimai. Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a Taliban.
Yeah. I don't have any.
So nobody in like those supermarket? Okay, I agree.
Next one, simple. Travel agencies.
Yes.
Using you can make any kind of appointment through iPhone. Yes, right. Next,
Manufacturing.
manufacturing. Depending on what kind of manufacturing.
Yeah.
But robotics actually are capable of everything that is now on the conveyor belt production, like car manufacturing, etc.
Okay, manufacturing style is going to be drastically going to be changed. Who's going to manipulate their manufacturing data? Manufacturing data means actually data will kick in the machine operation, data operation. What kind of model they're going to produce, and the model or like what kind of type of machine, they need to change input data, right? Every day. So data is some recently more tendency for the deep learning. It means order to the machine will going to be diversified.
I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like.
Yeah.
Can you check your?
No.
No, it's still recording. Kana?
Yeah, recording now. Oh,
Oh, no, okay.
maybe this is. Don't say. Okay, good, very good.
尖閣諸島
尖閣諸島。
What?
壁紙が尖閣諸島になってる
So this is not stable. This is 尖閣諸島 not stable.
面白かった
面白かった
And this is a new version of the OS.
Yeah,
Catalina.
Catalina is, they said this is not stable. Must be careful to implement. This is 尖閣諸島.
So that's why your
Screensaver.
screensaver is 尖閣諸
I had big trouble.
Oh, no.
La-
It's called a desktop background? I don't know. But anyway.
And
also
also they forced to switch into 尖閣諸島 from my original
Really?
screen. Yeah, this is a very intentionally they manipulating something. And last Saturday I just reinstalled Skype. It didn't work.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Right? Do you join
Yeah, I
that?
remember that.
Okay, go ahead. What the next?
So manufacturing, okay. Dispatchers.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And manufacturing is now we're going to need to prepare the data input to manufacturing factory, right? How to prepare data. This new trend for manufacturing is we not only simply operating machine, but also we're going to change model. We're going to change new assembly line, and nowadays we much more artificial intelligence level of work is capable. So this is deep learning, and they teach them more precise.
But they've been doing that already.
Yeah, already.
Already.
Yeah.
Even without AI.
No. Listen to new tendency. One of the most advanced companies, Sony Corporation.
Oh,
They
really?
have, they have 100, 200, 300 layers in data is coming output, and they try to manipulate a lot of things to develop. It's capable, and like a human brain thinking about it's what the deep learning is okay. If human being like old drive is a good example. In this case, how car is driving. In this case, how the car is moving around. Sort of many kind of operational judgment will go submit to the artificial intelligence in network. Neural network we so called.
But that's not artificial, yeah, what you're describing.
Yeah, deep learning. Deep learning. You should study.
No. I'm arguing that you are not describing artificial intelligence. This kind of like scenario based that is actually describing
no.
this.
You try to precise definition is artificial intelligence, very broad definition, but more focus on deep learning, some specific area. It's the most advanced area. This is I'm now studying, right? So now is maybe thinking about one layer, two layer input and coming output. Okay, you're going to put in one and output is one. It's 60,000 handwriting fields. They can automatically recognize this is one, this is two. This is automatically starting this one layer, two layer, three layer. But current level of this kind of deep learning, 100 layers, 1,000 layers, very sophisticated layers to operate is very much more closer to human being decision making.
What's a layer?
Layer is just calculation schema. Input data is going to put in some action will going to happen one layer by layer. So we're going to put on some specific weight by layer. So finally putting one is coming out one. This kind of
But
tool.
who decides the weight?
This is an automatically decision making system.
Ah, that is intelligence.
Yeah, this is part. So this kind of more getting advanced.
And where is that?
Manufacturing plant is normal, no people person there. But for that, going to attain the many kind of diversified operation is capable. Man is in front end. Man is need to control this operation schedule. Like for example, last time is when I went to Darren and IT club, and I made a keynote speaker, and they invited me. At that time, also Hitachi came to join make a presentation. Master scheduling using SAP. Oh my God! No, this is not SAP. Deep learning.
Okay.
Sort of advanced technology. Still, Japan is not just like he said. We just getting to involve those data yet. But in 1 or 2 years later, like auto driving, the very same. Auto driving, one man driving car, right? But manufacturing 100,000 machines and concurrently moving. Same concept, the same. How are we going to most efficient way to operate? How more flexible? And in the case of accident, how they going to stop machines? How to quality level? How to avoid manufacturing loss? And loss is how to reduce the loss. Sort of things of how to operate manufacturing companies is more better than human being operation. Like a human being operation, the loss might be 3%, 5%. So this kind of deep learning system, maybe 5 to 2% they deduct the manufacturing loss, they can make it.
But we have to be a little bit careful not to overestimate this artificial intelligence part in this, because I mean we've already been doing this for a great part. Very simple. My cousin makes software for the sand industry. Basically, the way it works is that sand is being pumped up from a lake or from the bottom of a lake, and what they do is they scan the lake and they start pumping, and then they make a kind of mapping of where which sand is. So, in order to create, for example, sand for concrete, you need to have 60% crude and 20% and 40% fine, and for cement you need different kinds of. So there's all kinds of like applications. Then if you know that, and you know which orders you have for sand, so people want to have this amount of cement and this amount for concrete, you can just put that in the system, and then the system calculates, okay, where does the boat need to go and pump for how long in order to get the highest revenue out of your plant. That's nothing artificial about it. That's basically you put those parameters in there in order to do that. That's not artificial intelligence. That we have been doing that already for decades.
This is so-called machine learning.
No, it's not machine learning. It's simple. It's simple programming. It's optimization.
Yeah, this is so-called machine learning.
It's not.
Not deep
It doesn't
learning.
learn
I'm
anything.
sorry, so I don't know about the exactly definition, but what is the definition of, no, I mean the machine learning.
And deep learning?
No, machine learning. You said
Machine learning gives them just the pattern of the how to operate recognition.
Just pattern. But
Yeah. Same. Just put in 20%, 30%, mixing it, and also they going to additional order and additional message. We can put it then. And deep learning is different. We system will automatically make judgment.
Yeah.
Not this is machine learning is beforehand. Okay, we're going to ask them order. Right? This is machine learning. Just I told him machine learning. Okay, go ahead. Next.
Next, dispatchers. Dispatchers, I'm a little bit skeptical. Dispatchers, I'm a little bit skeptical.
Like airport, air terminal dispatcher.
So at air terminals, and
ATC.
it's a little bit like why not all the car drivers will disappear. Because actually dispatchers are not only telling calculating the optimized route, but they're also there in case of emergency, because it's a person-to-person relationship that you have with your people. So
Yeah,
it's
I
not
agree.
only about.
I
So
agree.
dispatchers, I'm skeptical.
I agree with you. But way of dispatching system is drastically will going to be changed. Current dispatching system is they have 20 or 30 board, and they're going to signaling what kind of caution is coming up here. But human to machine interactive action will going to be more improving. Okay, and how they're going to improving is they're going to give us more caution oriented system we're going to produce, right? So currently is not caution oriented. This is a red light, yellow light, blue light, and just watching 24 hours, right? And like a traffic control, traffic jam here, and like a so and so, and this. Okay, we're going to give them this big heavy traffic, and this one we're going to give them some traffic caution for them, and also signaling time is getting more longer or shorter. They can control, but this is will going to be automatically controlled in near future.
Yes.
So it means
Yeah, I agree.
more interactively consider for the traffic stream will going to be automatically controlled. So people to dispatcher's action is more high end, more sophisticated operation will going to be required.
So-
but also, just Ed said, I agree with him, not eliminated. Okay,